Hi students, it's glad to greet you again. In this video, you are going to learn about the lesson 10b, which is about plants. Okay, so we are going to start with the definition. What are plants? Plants are things we have already planned for the future. We are going to do some things in the future. Okay, so the plans are things you have already planned. You have already planned for the future. Okay, so we are going to talk about future. Okay, we will continue. Maybe you have an idea about plants. Okay, so let's see an example. I'm going to start a master degree next year. This is a plan for my future, because I have already planned this plan within maybe the next year, maybe within 2 years, etc. Okay, so the most important here that this plan I have already decided to do it. Okay, let's continue. um to express the plans for the future, it's important to use a structure. Okay, so I am going to show you the structure and the elements to form. The elements that you need to form is the verb be, going to, and a verb, an infinitive verb or a simple verb. Okay, we are going to continue with types of sentences. Okay, so I'm going to show you types of sentences for future plans. For example, a positive sentence, it's necessary to use the verb be. Okay, this is the first element: am, is, or are. Also, we are going to use going to, an infinitive verb, for example, travel, work, any kind of verb. Okay, what about the negative? In the negative sentences for future plans, it's very simple. We are going to use the verb be in negative form. For example, am not, is not, are not. And also we are going to use going to and infinitive verb. For example, travel, work, any kind of verb. And what about question? How do you form questions for plans? The order to make questions is this: is, or are at the beginning. You are going to continue with the subjects, any kind of subject, I, you, he, she, any kind of subject. Going to and the verb. And don't forget the question mark. This is important in English. Okay, let's see some examples about this. How do you apply this structure, these forms of sentences when you want to express a future plan? For example, like this: Gina is going to open a new business. As you can see in this is a positive sentence. Gina is, we are going to use the verb be in the form is, because we are talking about Gina. Gina is singular. Going to doesn't change. Open is an infinitive verb. Gina is going to open a new business. Let's see another example, this time a negative sentence. They aren't going to move on to San Francisco. They aren't. In this case, this is a negative. The verb be is are in negative form. Aren't or are not. This is a contraction. They aren't. Going to is the same, doesn't change. And the verb is move on. Move on means mudarse. They aren't going to move on to San Francisco. Okay? Let's see an example about a question expressing a future plan. Are you going to keep on studying? Are you going to keep on studying? As you can see, we start the question with the verb are, the verb be, are. This is the form are. Then you use the subject, in this case, you. Is the same. Going to doesn't change. And after going to, we use the verb keep. Keep on studying. Are you going to keep on studying? ¿Vas a seguir estudiando? Okay, this is the question. What about the negative? They aren't going to move on to San Francisco. Ellos no se van a mudar a San Francisco. What about the first sentence? Gina is going to open a new business. Gina va a abrir un nuevo negocio. These sentences are expressing future plans. Okay? Well, this is all the information. I think that this is the most important thing about the future plans, and you need to practice more. I am going to assign some exercises, so you are going to see these exercises in the platform in the